In the Palisades, the destruction, it's immeasurable. The fire there has destroyed at least 1,000 structures so far.
If there is ever a zombie apocalypse, you need to go ahead and stick with me. If you see me going down the street with my bow and arrow, just drop everything and run with Nina. Today I'm going to show you guys what I have in my apocalypse backpack. Uh-oh, I locked my cat in the closet. One moment. But before we get into the essentials that you're going to need for survival, I need y'all to go ahead and essentially give this video a thumbs up. It's free. It helps me reach more people. Now, did you do it? Let's move on. Okay, back in 2019, I made this apocalypse bag because I just thought to myself, like, what if I need to get up and go? I'm not ready. My emergency preparedness don't exist. So I had a bunch of extra backpacks, and this one was the one that I wore the least. Step one, pick a backpack you already have that you wear the least. If you don't have a backpack, I will put everything that you need in my Amazon storefront in the description. Okay, let's get into the bag. So in 2020, we actually needed this first item, and people thought I was over-exaggerating by putting this on. This is a 3M mask that has actual filters, okay? So the first breakout of the panoramic, I wore this, and I actually got pulled over by a cop. I was in the car wearing this because we didn't have any information yet. Imagine we're at the beginning of February and you see a girl driving down the street with this on her face. Yeah, so they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, bro, you haven't heard of the coronavirus? And they were like, take that off. And I'm like, okay. And then boom, by the end of the month, we're all quarantined. This comes with interchangeable filters, which is perfect because I am in Los Angeles, California, and yesterday we could not breathe at all outside. So everybody was wearing masks, but this is ideally what you want to wear. You want to wear something with N95 particulate filter, which is what they're called. Now next, in an apocalypse, not only do you need to breathe safely, but you need to see safely. So this actually came together. You can use it for doing construction work or for an apocalypse. Enough said. Next, you're gonna need a water filter. This one I got is by Sawyer. It's called the Mini Water Filtration System. And this little tiny apparatus can actually filter up to 100,000 gallons of water from freshwater lakes, rivers, or streams. It also removes 99.9999% of all harmful bacteria, including E. coli, salmonella, bacteria that causes cholera, and typhoid. So up close, this is what that looks like. I have yet to use it. And speaking of water, oh my gosh, this is how you can tell I am not lying about making this in 2019 because the little labels have fallen off and look at how demented these water bottles look. But you need a water source to begin with. If I could carry out 10 bottles of water or a gallon, I would. Unfortunately, that's not the case when you're in an apocalypse. The less you have, the better you're able to run and maneuver and all of that. You need a little bit of everything. So just if you've gotten to this point in the video, let me know, do you have a go bag? And if you do, what are some things that are inside of it? So I've got these 2 water bottles to get me started. Let's say I was running from, I don't know, a fire. I might have one for me and then one I'll allocate to the cats. But once you run out of 2 water bottles, you're gonna need some more water. So you can go and collect your freshwater streams, filter them through here, and then you could if you want to reuse the bottles, but I think this is actually a better idea, just having a camel pack, okay, military style. If you didn't know, in this video, I'll also be sharing a few military tips. My ex-husband was in the special forces, so as a key spouse, and I know you're listen, if you're my ex-husband and you're watching this, I know you probably don't want to hear your name brought up, but these are things that I remember from when we were married and you came home and I would help you like sew parachute parts and a lot of other things, but you also taught me a lot of things that the military taught you, and I will take those with me wherever I go for the rest of my life, like how to start a fire with petroleum jelly and cotton balls. So I'm going to share some of these tips also in the video since we're on the topic of survival. I didn't think it was enough tips to be its own video, so I figured, hey, let's just teach the people how to stay alive. Stay alive! There's nothing better than a song, you know, when you're in a moment, a situation. I'm gonna bust open this first aid kit to show you guys like how poppin' this first aid kit is. This is also going to be in my Amazon storefront. I ordered this from Amazon and I meticulously went through every single first aid kit. This is the best first aid kit.
Boom, this the first aid kit of your dreams. See how it says survival kit? This one gonna help you stay alive, I'm telling you. Boom, pop it open. Look at all of this stuff. So let's start off with the right side because the right side is mostly survival stuff. A beautiful compass. I love compasses so much, and this one also has a carabiner. It has a carabiner on it so you can just attach it to your backpack or something. Some fishing wire if you ever need to catch some fish. This, if anyone knows what this is, can you please tell me in the comments? Because I gotta be honest, I don't know. This looks like some sort of wire with keychains attached. I'm gonna have to go back through the kit and see, like, does it have a list of what's included? A triangular bandage. We're gonna open this real quick. Before I judge, I'm gonna see if they included the right bandages because, oh, actually they did. These bandages are perfect for if you get a wound. In the event of emergency, you never wanna use gauze that looks like this. The reason why is because if you get a wound and then maybe it's bleeding, you put this on, you try to stop the bleeding. Tomorrow, when you need to re-clean it and redress it, you rip this off. All of the scabbing has become like healed and intertwined within this gauze. So as soon as you remove it, now you've reopened your wound and it hurts. So a good alternative to traditional gauze and your safety kit is going to be something like this, where it's tightly woven and it's breathable. Typically, these types of things have a waxy covering. Same thing with Band-Aids, have a waxy covering that goes over the cloth to help absorb, the bodily fluids without sticking to the cloth. Speaking of scissors, the next thing we have is some scissors in this first aid kit. A pocket knife. Okay, so this pocket knife functions as a tool. So we have a cute little wrench in here that you can use. Some knives, some things that look like keys. Yeah, like, I don't know what this is. I've got to be honest. I've never been in a state of emergency where I've had to use any of these things, but looks like a small knife. This looks like a bottle opener for sure. And then we also have some things on this side, including a nail file, a screwdriver, something that looks like a pick, and a regular knife. We have a whistle. We have some medical tweezers. Now this stuff I'm not gonna actually pull out because I don't wanna get it dirty, but as you can just see, we have some Q-tips. We have a first aid blanket, which is one of those like foil blankets that just keep you warm. We have some gloves because if you're gonna be wrapping wounds, baby, you can't be with dirty hands. On the left side of this survival kit first aid is a first aid booklet. Thank goodness. A multi-purpose pocket survival tool. So you can use this as a can opener, knife edge, screwdriver, ruler, cap opener, wrench. So there's a million different ways you can use something like this. They included a good amount of Band-Aids. It is a fat pack of Band-Aids, and these are actually waterproof elastics. If anyone could tell me what this is, I would be very grateful. So I love that this little booklet says what to do in an emergency: unconsciousness, wounds, bleeding, eye injuries, broken bones. 2 packs of gauze, which is exactly what I said do not use. So we will not be using this, but in the worst case scenario, I guess we have to use it. A real pocket knife. How many knives will we have? Enough to where if you need to grab one, it's gonna be there. Period, okay? All right, this is when stuff starts getting real. We have a tourniquet, I think is what it's called, a tourniquet. We have some safety pins. Adhesive medical tape. This is actually for the gauze, but again, we won't be using that. And last but not least in here, we have a crap ton of alcohol disinfectant wipes. So this is a pretty thorough, like I told you guys, this is the best first aid kit. It will be in my Amazon storefront. Okay, so we're back in this angle, and the next thing we have, we're almost done. We have a generator. So if you need power, this is actually in my TikTok shop. You can get this on Amazon. I'll try to find it on Amazon and link it for those of y'all who do not have TikTok. But you can charge it in the sun. It has not been charged, I'm letting you know now. If there's no sunlight, it actually has a crank. You can crank it for 3 minutes and then you'll have enough energy to turn on the radio. It has a radio. Let me show you guys. That's the radio. That's how much energy we just cranked. It also has a flashlight. We have phone charging on this side. You don't need any electricity for this. You just need the sun or some cranking up energy. Emergency sleeping bags. This is what I'm saying. If you see me in an apocalypse, get with me. And it's only one of me. I got 2 of everything. Just know you're gonna have to come with some value. I'm not saving your life for no reason. Inside of this emergency sleeping bag, you have what looks like these like Kevlar or these like Mylar. What is this? This looks like plastic or like the same material. Oh yeah, this is the same foil material that the blanket had in the emergency kit. So this is just, like I said, something to keep you warm. Stay alive!
Then we have some socks. This was a suggestion from one of my followers. She was like, you should throw some socks in there. And socks is correct because you never know when you leave if you got slides or if you got child, I have so many scars on my feet from running with no shoes on, so the least I can do is get some socks. This is the big one, meal ready to eat. Now these MREs actually expired a little over a month ago. It says expires 11/24. I think they can go for a few more months. However, I do have some new ones in my Amazon cart. I'm going to share the different kinds with you. This is really important to pick the right ones because they have these meal ready to eats that you keep in your home that seem nice, like, ooh, mac and cheese, chicken, pasta, but you have to work with the resources that you can. You cannot, if you need to run, you cannot grab a whole entire 5-gallon tub of MREs. No, you need something that's already in your bag and easy to carry. That's why I said no cat food. They have to eat what I eat. If I have a bunch of cat food in here, that's gonna slow me down. MREs are in my Amazon. Moving into the front of the backpack, now you know we almost done. Your passport. Go ahead and keep your passport in your go bag, just in case you have to go that far. Now, personally, I like to keep feminine products in the front because, child, that would be the worst. Imagine this is a zombie apocalypse and I start my period. Absolutely the F not. Feminine products. At least one. I'm going to put one pad in here just in case. At least one pad. I can't just have one tampon, girl. That ain't going to do it. And then we have hope. Original flashlight, just in case. You can never have too many pocket knives and flashlights. I have 2 lighters. Now, before I close the bag, I want to show you there's still more room, and the reason why is you don't know what you're going to acquire in an emergency. You cannot pack your bag to the brim. Imagine you're playing a video game and it's like Call of Duty, and then you have something, but then you acquire something when you go into the abandoned building. Now you see all these firearms and maybe some more MREs and some more water. You need space in your storage, in your pack. So I'm leaving enough space in my pack to add more items if I acquire them in an apocalypse. Last but not least, I want to show you how to create a fire starter kit. And you're only going to need 3 things in this kit. The first is some sort of cotton. So I have some cotton pads. I also have that really crappy gauze. This is a great one. This is a really great one, but cotton balls are typically better. They are the best. I don't have any cotton balls, only pads. The reason why is because we need something that will hold on to the fuel, aka the Vaseline. So you're gonna need some petroleum jelly, and I have this tiny thing of Vaseline inside of here. And in an emergency situation, you would want these already soaked with fuel. So what you would do is you can just scoop a bunch out and rub it inside the cotton pad just like this to get all the particles fully, as much Vaseline in each particle as you want these soaked with Vaseline. So ideally this would not be enough, but I would have this pre-done. So when my ex-husband was in the military, this was something that was in his bag that was already pre-done, was cotton balls that had been soaked in Vaseline. So they're ready to be lit. Next, you're gonna need some matches. Now I do have 2 lighters in there, like I said, but again, you just never know. In any scenario, you need as much preparedness and as small of a pack as possible. So if this was my kit only, it doesn't hurt to have the matches in here along with some extra Vaseline. So this is how you start the fire, guys, because the fuel can burn for a really long time if you soak the cotton with your Vaseline. Then you have enough time to find some wood, to start a bigger fire, to create air circulation, because we all know that if you just start a fire somewhere with no proper air circulation, it will go out fast. So we need something long burning. Let's say that you are out in the wilderness overnight. You need to possibly dig like a tunnel hole, even if it's just a small one, that will help the fire stay at a steady pace for a long period of time. So you can look up more videos on that on YouTube, but I just wanted to show you that this is definitely something you should have inside of your emergency preparedness kit. That is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want you guys to go and shop all of these things in my Amazon storefront so you will be ready for the state of emergency no matter where you live. Right now, we are already in a state of emergency in Los Angeles. So if I had to go, I would simply grab this, grab my 3 cats, and skirt.